Why do we think we need to make heroes of the people God placed in the Bible? Why can't we allow God's perspective on these people to shape our perspective of them? I suspect it would be supremely helpful to realize that God's opinion of them was not shaped by their ability to fulfill their tasks. Let me explain. Abraham consistently failed to trust God, pretending that his wife was his sister not once, but twice. He failed to trust God to provide a son, so he made his own way. Thus Ishmael was born. The first time Abraham really trusted God was when God gave him a task that God would never have allowed him to complete. Yet Abraham is named as a hero of the faith. Moses' attempt to rescue God's people began by taking matters into his own hands, and that resulted in brutal murder. Moses then spent decades in hiding, but eventually trusted God in some incredible ways. After God delivered them all from Egypt, Moses trusted God many times when the Hebrews were ready to kill him, and only once really failed to trust God after that, but it cost him. Samson took the Nazirite vow and lived up to none of it. His life was filled with recklessness, overindulgence, lust, and disobedience. Yet God used all that for his big picture plan. Samson's life ended in one seemingly heroic act amongst a lifetime of shortcoming. Yet we make him a hero in our children's Sunday school. Jonah is recorded as having one prophecy in the Bible, that the wicked King Jeroboam would win a battle, reclaiming some territory. The narrative of Jonah tells a consistent tale of disobedience, despite God's incredible intervention. He runs until he's at the point of death, and God rescues him in the most unbelievable way. Jonah eventually shows up at Nineveh. We only have a record of Jonah's determination of their rejection, and yet they repented and were redeemed. Jonah's reflection, it would be better for me to die than to have experienced seeing God's grace on these people. Yet we teach our children that Jonah is a model of faithfulness and obedience, do we not? What are we doing? We're missing the point if we're glorifying the people God used to orchestrate his redemption. It was never about the people. Abraham failed to trust God. Jacob was deceptive. Gideon doubted again and again, and almost every king was a wreck. Saul had all the potential in the world, but consistently put himself first until God pulled the plug on his kingship. David, one of the few good ones, after all God delivered him from, he saw fit to make a wreck of Bathsheba's marriage and kill her husband to cover up his sin. And his son Solomon ended his life with a record number of wives and concubines, and allowed an unbelievable amount of pagan influence into the land. All this led to a split kingdom between Israel and Judah, and a reign of mostly awful leaders, with both nations eventually being captured as a result of their rejection of God's plan of redemption. Yet God redeemed them once again, as he promised, and they went headlong into legalism. They trusted in their own righteousness, their own ability to correct their sinful nature, and ultimately that created an environment which would result in the crucifixion of the very Son of God, Jesus of Nazareth. Jesus' own crew doubted, denied, and one even deceived him, even though he handpicked them to be his disciples. The Bible isn't full of heroes. It's full of villains. There's only one hero, and his name is Jesus. So it's time we stop placing our focus on the men of God and instead place our focus on the God of men. Have a blessed day.